Very good morning, everyone. So I'm Dr. Prasad from CAD Solutions Coimbatore Autodesk Learning Partner. So first and foremost, I'd like to welcome everyone. So thank you for joining this online today preparatory call for Buildathon 2026. I would like to happy to have Anjali with us. So Anjali would like to welcome everyone. Anjali, good morning, Anjali.
Good morning, Prasad. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for organizing this event, this training session. Very warm welcome to all the students here on behalf of Autodesk and Knowledge Point. I would like to extend a very warm welcome to all student and of course faculty members joining us today for Buildathon 2026 online session. I'm delighted to have all of you to begin your journey towards this exciting international student competition. Uh, this session is designed to understand this competition, this international competition, explore the tools and technologies involved, and all the how this competition is going to happen on 18th and 19th, and what all things are involved, what all activities are involved, and what all tools are involved. That will be you all will be understanding in this particular session. Now, this is a great initiative taken by Autodesk, and this is the very first initiative that they have taken for that involved Forma and Revit together. Okay, so this could be an exciting opportunity for all the students, right? And I'm happy for that, and I'm excited for that. Now, without taking much of your time, it's my pleasure to hand over today's session to our expert speakers, Mr. Vimal and Mr. Prasad, who will guide you through this competition and training. If you have any doubt, if you have any questions regarding this competition, just put it on Q&A session, and whatever I can answer, I'll be answering the question. Whatever Prasad and Vimal can answer, they will answering your doubts and your questions. Okay, so just put it down on Q&A box. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Anjali. Really, that a warm introduction. Thank you so much. So, as Anjali has mentioned, this is a global competition, and we all representing India. So, your team will be representing India, and will be competing in August 18th and 19th. So, be ready for the day. So, without wasting much of the time, I like to introduce today speaker and presenter. Okay, Mr. J. Vimal Devaprabhu. So he is the technical, head of BIM and digital construction at CAD Solutions, Autodesk Learning Partner. So he is a seasoned BIM and digital construction expert with more than 23 years of experience in architecture and engineering construction industry. So he's a certified instructor and empowered thousands of students spanning this 20 years of his experience. And he trained a lot of high impact training, including faculty and programs, curriculum integration across India and also global sites also. So with his deep expertise, in Autodesk Revit, Forma, and BIM workflows and sustainable building design, he is instrumental helping a lot of education institution and organization to adopt, the digital construction practices. So really, his expertise and his, will be much helpful for you guys, your teams for preparing for this particular today's. So thank you so much, Anjali and Autodesk and everyone for giving this wonderful opportunity, and thank you students for joining us. So this 2 days we'll be going to handle you, we're going to make you prepared for the global competition, Buildathon 2026. So 2 days, if you have any doubts, please you can unmute yourself in this complete thing, and we want your complete involvement in this particular webinar. So I know many colleges arranged a particular classroom, and as a team you are participating from there. So any doubts, please you can unmute the chat. So we have backend chat, our team expert members and Revit, and the team members are behind, they'll be helping you. Any chat, any doubts, please feel free to, you can put it in the chat Q&A. Okay, so anything you can just put it there, and really we are happy to support you, handheld you. Thank you so much everyone. So I'm now handing over to Mr. Vimal Dev Prabhu.
So good morning, everyone, and welcome you to the official India training for this Autodesk Buildathon 2026. That's designed for impact. Okay, so over these 2 days, you'll be learning the exact workflow, what you know you can use, and to compete and win in this on this August 18th and 19th. So I'll be taking you across with the concept and analysis in Autodesk Forma and the development in Revit. Okay. So before we go ahead, can you just quickly drop in the chat, like which city you're from, what course you're doing? Just a one word, like how do you feel about this competition? Are you excited, nervous? How do you feel about this competition? Just maybe if you're a teams, like maybe one of your team can just quickly put that. One of your team members can just quickly put in the chat saying where are you from, so what course are you doing, architecture, interiors, or more of design and analysis or sustainability based courses. So whatever it is, can you just put it in one word, like the city, the course, and then how you feel about this competition? Like more excited or nervous? Okay, I think some of you have updated on the chat. Let's quickly go ahead. Let me just share my screen, and so you are able to see my screen here. So let's start with this. Okay, so first and foremost thing, let me explain. Let me explain about Buildathon. Okay, so here Buildathon is a competition given to the students, and everything official lives on the Buildathon website. Okay, so you have the rules, the training materials, the news, and everything is in the 5 different languages actually. So, and everything happens at the same time. And so one more thing that we are going to make sure is the software access. Okay, so we'll be looking at how you can access the software, and this is just a brief about the Buildathon here. So you can see that it's a 2 days competition run online over 2 days. With on 18th and 19th of August, and students will compete in teams of 2 to 4, and you'll also be working on the realistic scenarios. This is more of the outcome-based film concepts that we are going to follow. And the workflows, the students, they're going to form a team of 2 to 4, and you'll be working on realistic scenarios. And you'll be working on more of how the collaboration works, and you can also see the how former site design and Revit is going to help you on this. Okay. As you know, it's everything is there in this the Buildathon website, so which you can actually get from this URL. You can just go and search for it. You can search for that in the Instagram. So it's fully translated into 5 different languages. So you can check this. But the Buildathon, the competition starts at 8 a.m. Singapore time on 18th. That is somewhere around 5:30 a.m. for India time. And so what we are going to do now is we'll make sure that we'll do the installations and the activation of your licenses, procuring of your products, so that you don't have to spend time during the, getting the licenses and activating the softwares. And so that's thing. So the software download, yes, you can see that you have these links from where you'll be able to download the products. So now you have the former site design, you have for Revit, and the the Buildathon for the web, things you can just the training materials, you can get it from the Buildathon website, which is available. Now, just want to quickly tell you something here. So if in case you have not received or you have not activated your education licenses, So please do let us know so that we can try to help you out on that and guide you on that. So, and my team, I have my team at the back end who can also support you. And if in case you have not got the licenses, the software licenses, please do let us know. Put it in the chat box so that we can revert back to you on this. Just hope everyone has the softwares with all the licenses. What I can do is I can quickly show you like how to get the licenses. Okay, so let me just open my. So what you can do is you can just open the browser and you can say Autodesk students access to the education downloads. Just and here you can go into this page here. So it takes you to this page where you'll be able to see all the products listed out here. So you can just go click on show all and you can see the list of products that is available. Now, first, what you can do is you can just create a login here. I know here it will be kept as sign in. So you can just click on the sign in here and or sign up and create your Autodesk account. And then you can come in here and you can select the product that we are going to use. So for here, you'll be seeing there is something called as former site design over here, which you can just click on select. And, it takes you to the next page where it will ask whether you're a student or an educator or an school IT admin or the institutional IT admin. So here, what you can do is you can just choose your student here. So this will be like one, license per student. So you can just, that's for 1 year. So, and you have to give in all these details below this. And in some cases, you might be asked to provide your, institutional ID cards. So that for the verification process. And finally, once the verification is done, you can just click on the submit so that the license would be added to your account. And once you have the licenses added to the account, you'll be able to see them in this particular products and services over here. So that you'll be able to see the complete list of licenses or the list of products that you have access. So, and from there, you can choose the former site design and you'll be able to access the former site design. Maybe if in case you want to add few more products, like when you want to add Revit, you have to do the same step again. And you'll be able to access the products from there. And in case you're having any issues or any, problem in getting the licenses or procuring the softwares, you can mention it in the chat, maybe by sometime later. You can just put it in the chat so with your contact details so that my backend team here can get in touch with you and help you out in getting the licenses as well as the softwares installed in your systems. So okay, so let's move ahead. Let's go ahead with this. So that's about the software. And now one more important thing about this Buildathon is, you also have a competition app which you have to be using. So the purpose of that is to keep up regular engagements. You'll be having live global feeds that and maybe bit-sized design tips and milestones. Where you'll be getting the reminders. And you'll also be having some online resources which you can use. Informations, the next steps, the milestones, the reminders, and everything displayed in that. So you can use this for training for the competition, and you'll be getting all the data in this. And not just that. So that is also the WhatsApp channel weekly. So there will be like alerts and updates in this section. Okay, so let's start with the the training. the agenda for the next 2 days. So what we are going to do and what we've planned to do. So now, as we know that we are already in this, and we have done the welcome. On the day one, we have done the welcome thing, Buildathon rules, workflows, these setup checks, like where you have to have the softwares and the licenses and all. So if in case you're still having any issues, you can just put it in the chat and I'll have my team to help you out on that. Okay. So next is we are going to discuss about what is Autodesk Forma. We'll be discussing on the interface of it. So we'll also be looking at the how projects and proposals are used, and we'll be working on some local site content, like maybe like we'll be doing a couple of massing on the building. Then the day one is going to be more of Forma day, and the day two will be more of the Revit day. So like that, I have planned this session so that we can follow each and every step. You can also try it out, and we can have this as a very good session so that everyone falls in same line. So okay, so and see, there will be screen breaks every 75 minutes or so 1.5 hours once, something like that. So so I'll also try to prepare a complete step-by-step tutorial for you people, so that which I can share it with you in the later stages. So moving up next, so I'm just quickly giving you some tips on how this Buildathon workflow is going to be. So first, I would request you to understand the brief. Okay, decode the brief, understand define the site, do the climate, and which is going to be released in the day one of the competition. So where you'll be getting the details. Now, I would suggest you to do more of explorations on the massing design options in the Forma site design, do the analysis, and then on the develop the models, choose the proper good option or the winning option that you have, send it to Revit, create the Revit models there, get some visuals and metrics, and prepare your story in a proper way. So this would be some of the one small workflow which I would suggest you to use. So most part of the time, I would request you to do do a lot of iterations rather than decorating it. Because you can have a good reward when you defend it with some proper good analysis. Okay. And you have to design for the impact. So that's mostly on the sustainability, the climate responses, the outcomes. That's what is more important here. And since you're going to be in a team, I would request you to be, one of your team works in Forma, one works with Revit, and everyone wants the story. So one can start preparing the templates and other stuff for the presentations. And you can also prepare the PDF outputs, whatever is required for the submissions and all. So just a quick, just to know a quick, and for my understanding, can someone tell how many of you here have used Forma before? So can you just put a thumbs up in the as a reaction so that we know some how it is. Okay. So how many of you have used Revit, or have you used both? Or so can you just put a thumbs up? Yes, that's great. That's great. I see a lot of things coming in. Okay, so okay, that's cool. Like I see a lot of people have already used either one of the products. So thank you all, thank you. So now let's move ahead and see. So before we begin, so this is what I want you to do. So yes, so those who have not have the access to the products, first and foremost thing is create your sign-in, verify your student status with your institution ID, and don't leave it till the last, till the day of your competition. Try to do this earlier so that you can start accessing your products. Okay. So second thing is, I would request you to form your team of 2 to 4 before the 10th of August and do a registration so that with every member on the Buildathon portal. So, have mixed kind of team. So where you have the former, somebody works in former, somebody works in Revit, kind of have a team where you can actually collaborate and work. So that would be the best thing. So the site design, the former site design runs in the browser. So Chrome is, or Edge is recommended with a stable internet. Okay, so it doesn't require any installations for forma or site design. But whereas for Revit, either 26, 27, so maybe you can just download. 27 also is available on the website. You can install 27 also. So the download might be a little bit heavier, including the content and all. So it is recommended you have a good RAM for it so that, and also one important thing is I would suggest you to install the Forma add-in for Revit so that you can move between Forma and Revit and Forma so that you can collaborate between these two products. Okay. So, okay, so once the product is done, you can have a team of 2 to 4 here. So join the WhatsApp channel and check the websites weekly. So, and the brief drops at 8 a.m. Singapore time. So that's around 5:30 in India time. Okay. So 5:30 a.m. in India time. So you need to plan your 2 days based on the Singapore time for that 18th and 19th of August. Okay. So, yeah, so that's it. So now this is for the day one. So I would suggest we always start with, the forma and not Revit. So the reason why I do this is in forma, I can create the conceptual modeling. Okay. So, but you can also do a lot of workarounds. So you can also have, you can just create the references in Revit, bring it into forma, and you can work. And or you can create the forma model first, take it into Revit, do the detail modeling there. So and so the I think of it as the conceptual design studio in your browser. Okay, so Forma is basically a conceptual design studio within your browser, which you can use. So the analysis is inbuilt, the context is automatic. So you have live metrics and it's just one click to Revit. So this, where you can move the model from Forma to the Revit. And moving ahead, so let's just quickly, let me just open the Forma and I can show you that. So here I have my Forma. I hope you're able to see my screen now. Okay. So you can see that I just created one project here. So, but let me explain how this works first. So with this one project, we'll have one site, or within that site, you can have proposals, which will work as design options. Okay, you can have multiple proposals within the projects. Okay, and you'll be able to use them here. So now let's say, so what is this all about? So as I told you earlier, you can access the Forma site design from your account management here. So you can find this, or you can also directly go and say, app.forma Autodesk Forma, and then you can search for Autodesk Forma and you can do the sign in directly. And once you sign into your Forma, basically prompts for the hub. Okay, you see here, there is something called as a hub. So the hub is the initial, you know, the initial content that you have, and within the hub, you can have multiple projects, so, and multiple members, so, and multiple teams and all. So that's something is called as the hub. So, and within hub, you can add new projects, you can create new projects here, okay? Or from the former site design here, you can just, once you have defined the hub, from the hub, you can just create a new project directly here. So this is where you create a new project. And once you click on new project, it is going to ask how to, just give a name for the project. So you can give any name for this. Maybe say, I'll just give it as Buildathon, just, okay. So this is just for the reference that I'm doing. Okay, so because I already have the project here, so I'm just trying to create something so that you people can understand what you have to do. And once you have this, just click on the create here. Okay, so it creates a new project and it prompts you to add the members. So where you can add your team members to this, you can add your team members, you can give them the different level of access. You can give them either as access as an admin, or you can also put them as a member. So there is a difference between an admin and the member. So the admin basically has control of everything. So he'll be able to do the manage the project members and the project settings and the archive projects also. So whereas he can also work on the sites. So the sites and projects he can create new. He can join on the existing sites as a manager. And, the admin can also create new boards, and can join the existing boards as a manager. Okay. So, what you can also do is you can also put some people as member where, they cannot, manage the members within the project. So they cannot change the settings or cannot archive the project. So, but what they can do is they can create new site, join in as an editor so that collaboratively you can edit and work on the sites as well as in the boards. So, and here you can see, as you can see, you can add nearly around 50 email IDs here, or 50 people or 50 members of within your team. But since our team is going to be like, between 2 to 4, so it's like that's 4 email IDs. Maybe you can define, you can add individual email IDs and you can define the, the access level to them. But so for here, let's say I'm not going to do this for now. So I'll just click on this close and you can see this here. It adds this. Now I already have a 2026 training here. So I'll be using that for this 2 days session. And you can see that here within this particular format, the site or the project that I have. So here I have the site design, the building design, and the board. So I will just click on the site design and choose something from my locality here. So I can just search for Coimbatore, Tamil Nadu, India. So I just like quickly just searching for my location here. So you can see that it shows some location here. So I can give some site name. I'll just confirm this map area here. So once I do this map area, once I click on this map area here, you can see that it starts building the content now. Give it a second so that it loads. And from this format here, okay, so now once it loads, it opens up to another page here where you'll find the different packages that you can add on top of the site that you have selected. So for example, you have the, start with buildings. If you want, you can just add the buildings to that. Okay. So it chooses the buildings that is nearby. It takes in that and it adds to your proposal. You can also add the roads, so you can just say you want to add the roads to this so that the roads are properly updated in this. Now you can also add the trees so that you get the number of trees that is there in this particular area. If in case you want, you can also have uh, the imagery of this, the image map, the S3 image map you can add. Okay. So that you know exactly like where the location is, and all this is now added to your current proposal. So, and once you are done this, what you can do is you can, okay, let's add this, the 3D terrain also to this. So now we know that we have all these things added. Now, once I'm done, I'll just click on this close so that my data is updated in this and I'll be able to see all those things here. So it gets updated. So in the meantime, I would quickly just explain this, this specific area here. So how the interface is and all. So on the left side, you have this proposals here. You see this. So where you will be having the different libraries. You can also have extensions. You also have the contextual data, so which you can add to your proposal wherever you want. And you have the proposals. So you can add multiple proposals in this. So currently this is called as proposal 1, or if in case you want, you can name it as design option 1 or 2. So you can just, duplicate this, or you can rename this, you can export this, the data, and you can use this. Okay, but let's say here you can see that you also have the site limit. This is the center panel where you'll be having the the bar where you can just quickly create. So there is some. Okay, so there are some duplicated geometries. Okay, so just okay. Now let's. You can see that you have this as the toolbar where you'll be able to create your building site limits and all these things. So you can actually add them to this. You can just start sketching from here and you'll be able to create them. And we'll be discussing on these tools. And this is on the right side here. You will be having the, the live matrices and the, the measurement and the panel where you have the analysis and the live matrices. So, and you will also have this bottom panel here, bottom bar here. So this also gives you the some details where you'll be able to control the measurements, the display options, the 3 views, and other things you can control directly here. So if you use the control and scroll button, it's like zoom in and zoom out. The shift and the middle mouse button is the kind of orbit. Okay, and you can also use the scroll to zoom in and zoom out. Shift and middle is like a pan where you can pan between this and you can see this. Okay, now let's quickly go and start with this model here. So here you can see that this gives us the the detail of the site, and you can see like how the site is placed and all. Now let's say I want to work on something on this area over here. So I have a very space over here, so where I want to create something. Okay, so first things first, what I should do is I should create my site limit here. So the site limit defines the boundary where we are going to prepare our 3D models, and where we are going to do the complete analysis and all. So this is where I start creating my site limit. So once I click on draw site limit, you can see that it shows me this this part. I can just move between 2D and 3D, or I can just switch to 3D mode, or I can be in the 2D mode. Okay, so here I can show the north so that it's like aligned to the true north here. Okay, and what I can do is I can start adding my um, boundary here. So let's start adding the boundary to this. So I'll say I just want to add something here and just want to take it like this. So maybe my site boundary, I'm just creating this as my site limit. And once I click here, it will automatically, create the site boundary, which you can use, for adding the buildings and elements on top of this or your proposal on top of this. Okay. So this is how you define the site limit. And you can see that when you select this, so automatically it shows on the right side, it shows the site area where you can see the total area of the site as defined. And this is the building coverage here. So that building coverage is currently 0 because we have not created any buildings as of now. We have not defined any floor areas or the internal areas or the net internal areas, like kind of thing. So this is basically the site area that we have, and that's what we have done here. Okay, can you please explain in short forms? Yeah, okay. So it's very simple. Like what we are doing is we are just going into the once you go into the format here. Let me just so once you go into the format, Autodesk format, you will find the format site design here. You'll find this hub, or initially it will prompt you to create a hub, so where you can create a new hub. And once the hub is created within the hub is like the central administration element, so or the total module where you have every projects included inside that. Okay, and what you can do is you can just add multiple projects inside the hub. You can have multiple projects inside the hub, and one project is like where you're going to do the training session for this buildathon. So just create one for that. And when you create the project, you can just see my screen where you'll be able to say new project, so where you can add the new project into this. And once you add the new project, once you have added the new project, what you can do is you can just quickly go add the members to the project. Okay, so or you can just click on the site design over here, and it takes you to the site design here. When you're logging into this, or when it is launching you into the site design, at the first, it would be asking you to add the content that is required in this for this particular proposal. By default, it creates a new proposal. Okay, and it prompts you to add content to it. Or even after you are into this, now what you can do is you can just go into this library over here, where you can import, or you can go into this contextual data here, and you can browse the different data that's available in this. So you have the the data that you have, or you can just go for browse data. It takes you to the marketplace, the data marketplace. From there, you'll be able to access multiple data that is required for your proposal. So just that. Just go into this, choose any location, maybe something which is near to your place. So like what I have done, I know this location, so because I've been seeing this, the blank space on this on one of the major roads. So I just wanted to take that. So the same way I have, you can choose some location near to you where you already know that, and you'll be able to use them and just define the site limit. So the site limit is basically here. By default, it will be there in this. It says to draw the site limit. If that is not available, you can just go and select on this site limit here on the top bar. You'll be able to see the site. So you can select the site limit, and what you can do is you can sketch the site limit. But you can also switch the mode between 3D and 2D. So that you can see that when I click the 3D, it changes into a 3D mode. And using the shift and middle mouse button or the scroll button, I'll be able to orbit this and see. Or I can go back to my 2D view so that it gives me an easy method to sketch this. And if I want this to be properly oriented the north up, so I can just place the north properly this. Okay, so that's how to alter the site area after complete the site limit. Okay. Okay, so let me just quickly show you that. Okay, so here I have this site limit. I can just double click on that and I'll be able to, you know, um, move this, edit this. See, so just like this. So I know that I can just double click on the site limit and I'll be able to edit that. Or if I click on this, I can just move this along this, see, and automatically it goes to something like this. But maybe let's say I just want to move it a little bit inside here. And you can also change, to move this based on some length that you specify. So we know that exactly what distance it moves in or moves out and stuff like that. So now let's say I'm just going to put it here. And based on this, I want my model to work according to this. Or okay, so okay, so there is one more question where it says, does the library have a preloaded layout or we need to? So layout, yes, it doesn't have the preloaded layout kind of thing. So the default roads, the major roads and other things are there. But within your site, whatever proposal you're planning to work on, so that you have to create all this, and I'll be showing you how to work on that. Here, if you see that you have the draws and site limit, so I can just draw the site limit here. Okay. Okay, now let's see what we can do here in this. Let's say we are going to create a proposal here in this. Okay, so let's start adding some buildings to this. Okay, so first things, I'll just see there are, at this top bar over here, you have this line building, the basic building, you have the 3D sketch and houses. So here, creating the conceptual model is quite interesting and easy. So just go, you can just say you want to create a basic building. Maybe I'll just put it in a 3D mode so that I can see, this. Okay, I can just say whether this is, I'm just going to create a reference using the line. And you can see, I can also enter the distances here. So let's say that this distance is going to be like 15 meter. I can just say this is 15 meter. And the angle is now at 90 degree. And then, so now here, I can just move. Okay, I'll just move along this, say 35 meter. And you see this, I can define the number of levels here in this. And now if you look at this matrices over here, it shows the building coverage is 854. You have the gross floor area, the gross internal area, and the net internal area over here. So from where you can choose multiple things and you can see that. So now if I'm going to select any one floor over here, it gives the data of that. Okay. Or you can choose the levels here and you'll be able to edit the height of this level. So where you want this from 3 meter, maybe say, let's put it as 4 meter for all the floor. Okay. Now you can define the functions also in this. Maybe you can say this is going to be a commercial building. This part I want, the next 2 and 3. Floor 2, I want that also to be a commercial. And okay, so now I have three levels. Each of them is defined as the commercial ones. And these units which I can select using my shift, I can just select these levels, which I can say I want that to be the residential. Now, if you look at this, there is a color coding which is automatically happening here, and it defines whether it's the commercial building or the residential, this part that we have sketched here with this. So now let's say I want to create one more building here. So let's go with the basic building shape. I can just quickly start here. So this is going to be like 30 meters, I would say. And maybe the angle, I want it to be in this direction. And from here, I want something like 20 meters in this direction. And the angle is 90 now. I can just create. Okay. And once again, when I go back, you can see that it automatically selects the reference and the endpoint. And this time I can just add one more building here. So this is basically how we create it using the line building. Okay, where you can sketch and you can create it. And while doing the basic building sketch, okay, when you're sketching this, you can see that and you can just pick multiple points. Okay, and just create the shape. Yeah. Now, what you can also do is you can also use something called as a line building here. Okay. So where you'll be able to define the width and the width of the building. You can define the height of the number of levels and the height of each level. So I would say I want to put this as 4 meter and the length and width here is like 12 meter by 22 meter, I would say. And what I can do is I can just okay, just double click to finish off with that. And you can see that you have multiple units, each with the width of 12 meter and 22 meter. And the height of each floor is 4 meters. So here, once again, what you can do is you can choose individually, you can choose we can add houses here, you see. So just place it on a line or place it on a, single elements. Like if I go for line, like I can just quickly add along this. If I put it as a single line here, instead of single line, if I put it as single elements, I can just place these things. Now I'm just quickly showing you what can be done with this to create this. And you can actually create the building areas here, you can do the analysis and area matrices and that. So, and as I told you earlier, we'll take a short break now. Okay. So, we'll just take a short break of 15 minutes and then we'll resume back. Maybe by around 11:30, we'll join back again here. And in the meantime, if you have any questions, you can just put in the chat box. So my team can look into it, and once I'm back, we can get the questions. I'll answer your questions on. Okay, so thank you. We'll take a short break and resume back again.
So we'll start the session again. Um,
There are some questions again here. Okay, so one question. So the event is fully about the Forma software or Revit. So it's going to be today. It's going to be on Forma, and tomorrow it's going to be on Revit, and the workflow between Forma and Revit, and how that is going to help you in this Buildathon competition. So um, that's how this the training session is planned. How to adjust the floor to floor height. Okay, so I'll be doing this once again. So I'll be doing a small tutorial for now. So maybe you can just see how we are doing it, and I'll also be giving you time to work on it, so that you can try that out. And so 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 let's start with the presentation here. So let me go back to the site. We have created some elements in this, right? So let me do one small quick change over here. Let us do something interesting here in this. Okay, so first, I know that this is my site, which I have got in this. So now let's say I want to add something here, or maybe I'm just going to put something over here. Okay, so I'm just going to create some element in this area. So what I can do is I can start with my site limit. So I would say I just want to go with the site limit here. And let's say this is my 19. Okay. I'll just create it till this, like 70 meter here. And this as my 35 meter. And once again, I'll just bring it down here. Close this. Now this is going to be my site. Okay. So this is what we are going to work with. So, and now let's say I'm just going to add few elements into this. Okay, let's work on more realistic components now, or more realistic sizes with this. Okay, so here I can just use the shift and middle mouse button to orbit and see. Maybe if in case I want, I can just double click and edit the width of this, maybe say 45 meter here. So now you can see that it gets updated on this. Okay, so that's how you edit the site limit. And now let's start adding a building to this. Now, I know that this is the road over here, and I don't want my building to be very near to the road. So let's take it slightly away from the site, and I want to sketch something. Now, in this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a basic building block here. And I'm just going to create a couple of building blocks here, maybe like which has a commercial at the base, and two offices on, the two cubes of offices on top. So let's say I want to go with the basic building, and let's say this. I'll start from here. And okay, to make it easy for me to work, I'll just quickly go ahead with this 2D part, and I can also put the north up. So I know that this is the north, and it's proper here. So now let's start with the basic building. I'll say I want to create something from here, and let's say the line, I want this to be for 43 meters. Okay. and I'll just put it here. And in this, I want to have something for 30 meters or 25 meters. Okay, and I'll just click here. Now, once again, I'll just go ahead, draw this, and this is my base. Now you can see that by default, it has created this building. Now, if I go into my 3D part, you can see that it has created like 4 floors, and you can see each of the floors here. And on the right side here, where you have the mattress, you can see the building. The basic building is there with 4 floors, each floor of 3 meter in the height. Now let's say I want this to be changed. So let's say I want this to be like 3 floors or 2 floors. Okay, so and each floor I want that to be 4 meter height. Okay, so now I know that. So this is my building that I'm just creating it over here. And now on top of this, I'm going to construct, couple of office spaces here. So let's do it with the same basic building. Okay, and I would say I want to sketch on top of this. So, but before that, we can also do one more thing here. So what I can do is I can select this entire model, which I have done, the 2 massing model, and I can specify them as my residential model. Oh, sorry, not the residential, maybe a commercial model here. Okay, so this I can say this is going to be the the basic commercial model here, and you can also create new functions here. So I can just create a new function and say I want to add a new building function, which I want to call this as my office. Okay, and here I can give some color for that so that it's easy for me to understand that. So I'll just go with some color like this, which is not mentioned, or maybe something in this. Okay, so now this is going to be my office space. Okay, and I just apply changes, and you can see the functions are now added here. Now this particular thing, the 2 levels are going to be the commercial, and on top of this, I'm going to add some, another basic building, maybe for some 5 or 6 floors, and I'm going to put them as some office spaces here. So let's say I want to add basic building again here in this, and let's say I want to start from this point and maybe say some 20 meter here on this, and maybe another 20 meter here on this. Okay, so now I'll just close this 20 meter by 20 meter squares, and I'm just going to take it up to some level here. So you just stop it. Here we know that this is another block that we have created. Okay, and what I want is I want to have some 5 floors for this. Each floor is of 3 meter height, and I'm going to define the function of this as my office. So you can see that the color coding is automatically done. And when you put one element on top of the other one, so this is considered as one building. So if you do the the site limit, if you select, you can see that. So it gives you the site area, and if you select the model, it gives you the data for that model. So now let's select this. So it gives you the the floor area, the building coverage and everything here on this. Okay, so when you select this, again, you can see the data over here. Okay, so now this is something that we can create. Okay, so this is a very simple shape that I have done. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add one more block here at the back, maybe a small block, and I'm going to raise it for the entire height. Maybe it's going to be kind of a residential or something. So, and that's going to be a separate building. So let's say I want to go with this basic building again. And let's say I want to start sketching from this point, or I can just quickly go back to my 2D part, where it is easy for me to sketch the 2D here. Okay, so you can see I want this to be for 10 meters. And this I want it to be for 25 meter here. And once again, the 10 meter and this. Now, here, what I can do is I can come back to my 3D, select this model here. Say I want to have 6 or 8 floors. I can say 8 floors here. So that's going to be more of the residential. Each floor is of 3 meter. And the function of this is going to be the residential over here. So you have a commercial, you have, you can see that you have this office spaces, and you also have this residential spaces here. So this is how you can sketch these things. So any questions on this? I'll give you another few minutes, maybe some 5-10 minutes. Can you just try this out? So, and if in case you have any questions on this, you can just put your questions so that I can we can just I can take the questions and I can answer to you. So I have one more question from okay, so how to adjust the height for particularly each floor? Okay, so if in case you want to do it for each floor, yes, so what you can do is you can select that floor, and you can just click on the, are you able to see my screen now? You can just click on any level that you want to change. Just click on that and change the height of that. Maybe say this is like 4.5, 4.5 meters. So that floor alone changes. So, or in between, if you want to select this and give this as 4 meter. Yes, so that's how you change for each of the, separately for each floors. So after the building design, what are the output we can get? Yes, we'll be doing that. So just hold on a minute so that I can just take you through the process one by one. Okay, so guys, I hope you have done some basic modeling on this. Now let's go ahead. Let's see how to do some basic matrices, identify the basic matrices of this building. So here you can see that when you select the site, you can get the site area on the left here. Sorry, on the right here, you see the site area. So where you have this one. So it gives you the detail of the site. So what is the site area? And the building coverage as of now, it shows that as 0 here. Now, once I select the model here, okay, once I click on this model, you can see that you have the gross floor area, which you can expand. You have the, see this on the, and you also have this, the data over here. So all this data is that you have, this is for the element that you have selected. And when you move, it shows you that. So it highlights that space. You can see that the commercial space, the gross floor area, and the, the gross internal area and the net internal area that you have, that you'll be able to use with this. Okay, and this is of a basic building, and the building coverage, it shows the building coverage here. So what you can do is you can actually take a screenshot of this. You can add it, or you can put it as a separate screenshot, and you keep it separately so that you can add this to your the data during the presentation. So you can also put it as a PDF. You can also put it as a PDF, compile it as a PDF, and you can share it. So, okay, so now if I click on this particular block here, so you can see that it shows this is an office space. The gross floor area is like 2,000 square meter square here. And the gross inside area is 1,800 and the net internal area is 1,620. So this gives us the data of the, the block that we have and how we can use them. Okay. So moving ahead, we'll do some analysis over here. So where we are going to do some basic analysis on this. Now, just let me just minimize these and can see that. Okay, now what I can also do is I can also, see, check if I can do some analysis. Let's see. I know that this is my site limit. Okay, and I have selected the site limit now. And you can see at the top right here, I have the analyze package over here, all the analysis over here. So here in this, you have the area metrics. That's the default one that you're seeing now. And next is you have the sun hours. As Kishore was asking, yes, you were asking like, what is the next step after this building design? So here you can see that you have the sun hour analysis over here. So where I can just click on this sun hour analysis. And you can see the current selection is my site area. So when you go into sun hour analysis, so basically, sun hour analysis is done to identify like how much sunlight or the sun is being falling on this, like whether the shadows of my nearby building is going to affect the sun, or the lighting and other stuff. So here we can actually choose the dates, exact dates that we want. So if you see here, you have the analysis dates here. So by default, you can see that it's June 21st is one date. Or when you click on this, you can add the month and you can choose the day here. Now you can also add the dates, like multiple dates can be added here. So, and you can choose like March 21st. That's, see here, I'm just putting all the September 22nd. So, and one more date I would do is December 2020, 22nd. So like, so these dates are nothing but the, so these are the dates like the equinox and solstice. So here you can see that I have this dates and I can just run the analysis for any of those dates that I want. Okay. So, or I can just remove the dates. Maybe I can do it one by one. So first let's add this June 21 here, or maybe I'll put it as March 22nd, 22nd of March. That's one, or 21st of March. Okay. Now, I can hit this run analysis. Okay, so Akshara has one question. So how can we rotate our view? Okay, so you can use the shift and the scroll button. That's middle mouse button. So you can just orbit around the view. Okay, so Vijay Chandran, can you explain the area detection in this? No, okay, so that's here in the analyze the first part. What you see is the area metrics. So you can just go into this area metrics over here and you can check with the areas for the site or for the model that we have here. So once you select, it gives you the floor area, the index internal area and the net internal area. So that's okay. And okay, so now I'll just quickly hit the run analysis on this. And what happens is the analysis, the sonar analysis is happening at the background, and you can see that it shows a pop-up saying that the analysis is completed. And when I click on this, so it gives you a detailed report on this. Okay. So, and you can see that it says the date is June 21st and the 24-hour interval. So the ground roofs and facades, like you can see that, and how each of them is going to receive the sun on this. So you can see the data are put up here in this. You can just expand this and you can see the detailed hours also here. So during what time of the day you get the more of sunlight on the ground, on the facades. So you can see that here. Now, you can also do one thing here. So that's like you can see, you can just orbit around this and you can see the color coding in this. You'll be able to see a detailed color coding here. So now see, are you able to see this? Now this is in the month of March, June 21. So where I have defined this, and you can see that. And since you can see there is a more of darker shadows over here or the shades over here. The reason is my location, that's Coimbatore, is on the south of India. So in the month of June, technically the sun is located on the northern part of India. So and the southern side, it's more of you don't have that much of the sun hours coming in, and you can see how that is actually affecting this part. Okay, now let's do one more interesting thing. You will be able to see there are like 3 or 4 different color shades happening on this, on the ground, on the building here, and also now what I can do is I can just quickly click on this, inspect over here, and I can just click on the roof. It gives me for how many hours I'll be receiving that particular phase is receiving, or that color code is receiving the light. And if I click on this part over here, it gives me 6 hours. Like, okay. So now you can also just select this part over here. You can see so that the hours is a little bit more, and you select this. So it's each of the thing has a different share, time. And when I click on this, it says 0. So that's because it's completely doesn't receive the sun directly on this. Okay. So I hope you're able to understand this matrix that we have got in this. Now, what you can also do is you can also um, get a detailed output from this. Maybe what you can do is you can just take a screenshot of it, snip of it, put it as a PDF, put it into a PDF or put it into a document and convert it, give the detailing so that you can use this for your final storytelling during the analysis part, and why you choose a different shape or a different profile, or why did you place the building in such angle or things like that. So the reasons you have to, so you can just use this to identify the proper data, and you can use it for your presentations. Okay. So now this is one sun hour analysis that we have done. Now let me show you one more thing. Now let's change the date quickly. So let's put another new date where I want to have it for the September here. So I'll just go with September 22nd. So that's again another important dates. And the okay, so now let's choose this selection, and I would run the analysis for this. So now you can see that it shows this. And here you can see that we can change the date from September 22nd here. So now you see this is entirely different now. So I get to see a different type of a scenario here in this. So the ground receives 100% of direct sun, 98% of the facade receives direct sun, at least for 3 hours, and roofs, it's like 100% again. So, and if I go and click on this inspect now, I'll be able to see it shows 11 hours. This is 5 hours. Okay, so 6 hours. And you see the 12 hours here. Even the ground, yes, you can just right? So you can actually think of what you can do on top of this. Maybe you want to add more shading, or you want to add uh, come up with a plan where you want you want to utilize this, or at the same time add some shadings to the internal spaces and stuff. Yes, you can just think on a design which can work along with this data that you have. Now, this is how the sun analysis goes. Now, the best part is, like, for the same proposal, I have two different sun hour analysis done. Now, at any point of time, you want to get the data and you want to use it, you can just try to use that. Okay, I have one question here. So how did you view the analysis? Okay, so here you can see that you have the analysis here, the run analysis here. Or once you have completed the analysis, you have the history at the bottom here. You can just click on this history and you can see that it shows view results. So once you click on that, it shows the results here. And you can see there are like two analysis that I have done. So for both, I'll be able to see the results here in this. And if in case I want, I can just compare these results, or I can put them, kind of arrange them in a kind of storyboard. Okay, Sam, you have a question. So how should we open the analysis tool? Okay, so it's very simple, Sam. So like by default, you have the analyze panel here on the right side. So it might be minimized here on the screen. So when you just click on the arrow here, that's where you see this arrow. If you follow my cursor now, you'll be able to see this arrow here. So just click on the arrow here and it opens up to this analyze panel. And here you have the different, analysis. So like you have the area metrics, then you have the sun hour analysis, then you have the daylighting. So you can use the analysis and you can run the analysis on the selection. So here the area to analyze, you can see that here we have the analysis area here. So once you go for any analysis, first thing is the selection of the area. So either you do it for the entire model or for the site limit that you have created. Now, if you want it only for the site limit, you can select the site limit here and it shows that as selection. And then finally, you can, once the analysis is run and complete, you can see the results here in this. So I hope I've covered Deepak and Sam's question. So now I have one more question here. So what shall we do with the sun analysis in real time implementation? Will it suggest any changes in materials we have used? Yes, you can do a lot of things with that. You can, because that gives you a data where you can see like how much lighting you want to have and how to utilize the sun. Maybe you want to add some PV panels on that facades, so that, or on the roof, and get that, utilize it for sustainability concepts. Or the materials. Yes, you can try to use different types of glass. If it is a glass facade that you're having, and you want to have reflective glasses, so that more of heat doesn't come in, only the light is coming in. So yes, you can do things with that, and that's something that you can actually come up with during the course of the design. So this is something that gives you an idea of how to go with the materials, or with the adding components which can act as shading devices, or maybe like adding the PV panels also to this. So I hope I hope I answered your question. Now let's move ahead. So this is the sun hour analysis that I have done. Yeah. Okay. So next is I would like to quickly show you this daylighting potential here. So which you can see when you go and select this daylighting potential from the analyze here. So it says what this daylighting potential is all about. So, and here you can see that It gives you the parts of facade and the, with access to daylight and how the vertical sky components score, and some basic details about how I can utilize this daylighting. And if you want to learn more about this, yes, you have the options here. You can just click on learn more. It takes you to the detailing of this, the daylighting analysis. Now, apart from this, as I told you earlier, like we can choose this area for analysis. I know that that's the site limit that I have selected. Now I'll just go and hit the run analysis over here. And see, I know that this is for the total height of the building that we have, and all those basic buildings and other details are here in this. Okay. So now let's run the analysis on this. Now, once you run the analysis, within a couple of minutes, it should show you this, the C analysis results here. So you can directly select this to view that. Okay, so that's one thing. So you see my screen here, and that in this you'll see the C analysis results, which you can just click to open this. Or what you can do is from the history below this analysis, you can just click on that history over here, and you can view the results from here also. So both the ways you'll be able to access the results. And once you click on that, you'll be getting the daylighting potential for this. And you can see how both the buildings are kind of getting impacted with this. And, maybe if we move this component towards this somewhere mid, how that is going to affect this. And we can do that, like after reading all these data, we can change that, see how that will be affected. So this is, and okay, so let's keep it something like this so that I can read the values of this. And to read the values of from this, once again, I'll just go with the inspect here, and I'll choose this top. So here it says the score is 96. So when I, when I just click on this area here, you can see the score, it says 37. So here, each area has a different score on the daylighting, and you can see that. So the results in this. And what you can do is you can actually take these matrices, and based on that, you can start redesigning or reshaping your model according to this. So this is something like a pre-design stage where you design or the conceptual model of your the building. So you can identify like how much levels you can go up, or what should be the shape for it, and things like that. Okay, so now this is one daylighting potential that I have done. Now let's do one more interesting thing here. So let's say I'm going to select this model here, and I'm going to hit this move button here at the top bar, and I'm going to move it along this part here. See, I'm just changing the position of this slightly this way. So now, what I can do is, once again, I would go into my daylighting potential here and say I want to run the analysis again. Okay, so now the analysis is in progress. You can see that in the history. And once that's done, it pops up a menu here. So from where I can just quickly choose this analysis results. Okay, or I can choose from my history with the timestamp that is mentioned over here. I can just quickly select that, and it gives me a different type of result now. So you see that. So the results might, is varied here, and this part you can see it's changing here in this, and depending on this, I know like how to play around with my mass, how to arrange these components, maybe rotate them for some other angle, maybe move them into some other portion on the site, and see how it is working, maybe reduce the height of the building. Yes, you can come up with a lot of data from this. Okay, So you can come up with a lot of design options and you can use them here. So now I can give you a couple of minutes to try this out in your model. Okay, so that if you once you're done, you can just put a thumbs up or something so that I can know, and we'll start with this, continue with the session again. And if in case so if in case you have any questions, you can also, put your questions on the chat box or in the Q&A. So that's from Aditi. So you want me to repeat that process again? Okay, it's very simple. Like what you have done with the sun hour analysis, we are going to do the same thing here again. So what we do is we'll select the first things first as the selection. Okay, so first I'll go choose the daylight potential analysis, and then I would go into the analysis area here, the area to be analyzed, where you can see it is either the site limit that we have created or the entire model. So I can choose the site limit, and then here I can just hit the run analysis over here. So, and the analysis runs, and then finally I can see the history for the results. So I'll be able to see the history here, or it pops up a window at the top here to show you that. Now, if in case you want to do some design iterations, so you can just select this model that you want to move. Say I want this to be moved and put here in this, and see how that's working. So let's say I want to run the analysis now. So, and you can see that in the history, it shows it's in progress. The analysis is in progress. And once that is done, you can see the analysis results over here. So it pops up a window, a small menu saying that it shows that where you can see the analysis results. You can just click on this to get the results directly. Or what you can do is you can just go to this history over here, and you can choose the last run analysis in this, and you can check the result from there. So this gives you a different type of result. You can see this. Okay. So I hope I have answered your question, Aditi. And if in case you have completed like both the, yes, there, if you have any questions. Okay, so you're completed. That's great. That's great. That's nice to see a lot of people completing the models, just trying out this. So okay, so let's go ahead. So we saw how to work with this the sunlight and the daylighting, right? Yes. Okay, so now let's move ahead and see there is one more analysis which is available here, which is called as the wind analysis. Okay, now what I can do is I can say just click this wind analysis over here. Okay, now if you zoom out, if you use your scroll, you can see that the analysis is happening in this area. There is by default, it takes the selection, and it also sets a radius for the analysis, and it runs the analysis now. And you can see that, this is a rapid analysis which is happening here, and it gives the real-time prediction of the wind conditions. Okay. And here you can see that it's based on the comfortness that you can see. And here, see the comfortness is 42% on these areas and 58% on these areas. Now, so maybe if I want to add some open cafeterias for these along this, this is my commercial space, maybe like a supermarket or something, and I just want to have some cafeteria or something along this, you can see that the wind comfort is around 58% along the space here. So I'll be able to keep an open cafeterias or something, semi-open kind of things or the elements here. Or I can also arrange some seatings across this space so that you don't have too much of wind on this side. Whereas this side, it's a little bit lower, but again, because of the nearby structures that is available. So that's around this building. So you can see it's now in 42% now. So now you can also do the check with the direction of this. Before that, let me just go into the 2D part here. So I can just see the north. Okay, I just align my north here. And now I'll just hit the direction in this here. And you can see the analysis is once again at updates and okay, so you can see that here. So if this is the direction, you have the windrose direction here, and that's the southwest. And if I say the southwest for the southwest monsoon, because as per India, we have the southwest monsoons or the southwest winds are the more. So, you see the wind directions and that shows this is how it is going to be affected. And you see the 2%, 70%, and the 28% here. And you can see the values in this based on it. So now you can also change the radius of this. You can increase or reduce the radius here, increase the radius here, or reduce the radius here. But since ours is like within the 150 meters here, so that it's exactly inside this. And you can also get a detailed analysis here. Just set on this detailed analysis. It might take 15 to 20 minutes depending on the data that we are using for the analysis. And since we have taken only the minimum area, it should do the analysis quickly. So, and that should give us the detailed analysis of this. So yeah, in the meantime, what I would suggest is you can also try in your systems. You can just try the other analysis like the daylighting. You can also try the sun hour analysis and the basic wind analysis. People can try that out. So once this is done, you'll be able to see the data for this. Okay. So okay. Yes. So Akshava, okay. So thanks for coming up with this question. So because see, most of us would have been working on tools by default here. This is a tool which runs on the cloud, so that and your data is automatically saved on the cloud. So you don't have to click save separately, or you don't have to type in the command save or go select the save and save the work. So by default, your proposal is saved. Okay, the bottom here. So in these areas, sitting in these areas is good. Standing in these areas would be good, and strolling, like walking and uncomfortable. So these areas are kind of it shows that with the color shades here, color codes here. So where to, as I told you earlier, maybe the bottom part of the building being the commercial space where you want to add some additional cafeterias or kiosks and other things. You can just put them here in these areas, or in the other areas you can just use them. So you see, it's pretty much good on these areas. Okay. So any doubts with this? Any doubts with this wind analysis, the daylighting and the sun hour analysis? Okay, now let's move ahead and see one more analysis here. And for that, excuse me.
Vimal sir?
Yeah, yes, Chris. Yes.
So really, I think sessions are going really good, sir. A lot of questions people are asking.
Yeah,
just jump in here. So today we have a guest, Shravan is there. Hi, Shravan.
Okay.
Hey, hi, Prasad. Hi,
Good
Vimal.
afternoon. Yeah.
Hi, Shravan.
Hi. How are you guys?
Doing good. Thank you. Thank you. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. Wow, the attendance is fantastic.
Yes,
Awesome.
you can just address the gathering, students. Sure.
Sure. No, yeah, I don't want to like intrude. I just saw Vimal is deep and then probably like right in between. He's probably in a zone, talking about all the analysis that's there. But first thing, I just want to like congratulate and probably wish everyone best of luck for attending this competition. Former site design brings a really important aspect in terms of how we approach BIM. The entire industry is moving towards BIM, but also a large portion of it is towards dumb BIM, which means we deal with a lot of static data. Former site design here deals with that process, solves the problem of moving from static data to dynamic data, right from the early stages of planning and conceptualization. So what it really does is gives you plenty of opportunities to explore and experiment and play around with a lot of design options that you would want to do right before it goes to approval stages or right before it starts to get into design stages. So which means anything that you create here, you will probably have a ton of data that you might not, it may not come as a surprise at a later point of stage. So it's an amazing tool. I love this tool personally. I'm a although I'm from Autodesk, I've been in the industry. I've actually worked with these tools, and former site design is probably one of my most favorite. It really bridges the gap and a lot of pain points that industry experts face currently in terms of bridging information from former site design to Revit. So uh, capitalize these training sessions. And I wish you all the best of luck. And thank you so much, Cadwan team and Malan Prasad, for taking this. I'm sure you guys are in the right hands. They're probably one of the best experts and trainers for us in the industry. So there you go. Congratulations. Sir. Best of luck.
Thank you. Thank you, Shravan. Really, it means a lot to us. So thank you so much. So for the time. Sai Geeta also is there in the call. Sai Geeta. So Shravan and Sai Geeta are both are from Autodesk. Shravan is the manager of partner manager, and Sai Geeta is taking care of from the Autodesk team, education team. So Sai Geeta, any words like to share?
Yeah, thank you, Prasad. First of all, congratulations to all the students who have registered for this competition. And I'm really happy to see the number that and the excitement among the students. The number is really huge. Well done, students, and all the very best, whatever you will be doing. And we are here just to motivate you. We are not here to just explain you do this, that, nothing like that. Self motivation is necessary for this, but we are here only to support to all the team members so that you do well. We don't know the results, but at least you participated. Whatever may be the results, that is okay for us. And India finally is doing good, very good. All the best, all the students. And
Thank
thanks
you.
to our partner CAD1 and team.
Thank you, Saigita. Really, so helpful for us. And yes, definitely, as you mentioned that we'll be competing in the world market with all the other world. Definitely, India will rock. I guess it's so. So that's why Vimal sir is giving all us insights, and we are preparing, making the students to get prepared. So thank you, Shravan and Sai, for your motivation. Thank you so much. Yes. Sir, Vimal sir, over to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Prasad. Thank you, Shravan. Thank you, Sai. And yeah, thanks, guys. So let me just continue with the question, session. And I think I have a couple of questions here on this. So there is one question from Giridharan, like, okay, can you say the save process? Okay, Giridharan, as I told you, this is a cloud product and you don't have to go hit the save button or type in some save command and stuff like that. Your product or your model or your proposal is saved from the beginning. So it's auto saved. So, and it is available on the cloud. So you don't have to be worried about that. And and one thing is from Sri Priya, like, so can we have to analyze all the data here to design the. See, when you ask this question, okay, so this is something like a pre-design kind of thing. usually what architects we do is like we try to get the data from the site, do a site analysis, do a complete site study, understand which would be the best options or which would be the best orientations for my building. Uh, you know, think on different design aspects on that during this stage itself, see how it is going to come up. And just to do some analysis, we do a lot of calculations and other stuff, which takes up a lot of time initially. But by doing this in Forma, what it gives you is like it gives you more of a detailed report which you can utilize, which you can have it based on as you can see, I'm just working on a site which is exactly within India, so I know the data that I can use it to construct something like this at my hometown, or maybe at your place, or anywhere you can, on any specific site across the globe. You can study all these data, get the data, and you can design according to the values that you get from this. So that's something very important. But again, is this, if your question is about asking about if is this, analysis important for designing in Revit, I would say yes. Because Revit can do designs, but the site analysis or the pre-analysis that we do suggest what type of facade that I can use, what type of shape I can have for my building, maybe not a rectangular, maybe something like a square, or maybe some other shape where the wind flow can be easy. So to understand all these things, I think this would be the best thing. So, so I hope I answered your question, Shri Priya. And okay, so moving ahead, as we were discussing, we were looking at the wind, and now let's go ahead and see how the microclimate analysis happens here with this. So when we say about microclimate, it's about understanding how the the space around my site, or how the how it is going to be, and what would be the humidity levels, like whether it's going to be too hot, or how, what are the elements that I have which can have more pleasant spaces there, how to generate them and all this stuff. So let's see how we can do that. So let's say I just quickly want to add a few more things to this, but before going into this, let's okay, so let's come back to the analysis here. So now I know that this is my site where I have created some commercial and a mixed use building and residential building here. So now let's see, I just want to add few more things to this. So I'll just go back to my 2D view here and orient my north to the top. Okay, now let's say I want to add some trees in my site. So that what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some trees along this, the site boundary, and see how that is going to affect my conditions here. But before this, before adding the trees and other components, so first thing, I'll just go into the microclimate analysis here. And it by default, we know that it is set to the site limit that we have created, and the radius is now 150 meters here. So, and you can just hit the run analysis on this now. Now this will give you a data here, okay, and you can see the result of this. And you can see the air temperature here. You can control the, for different. Okay, so let me just zoom in closer to our site terrain. So now in the month of January, see, I can just click on January and it shows me that how it is going to be. So what are the data like, and at what time of the month. So I can just quickly say at around 12, or maybe during the early morning hours, how it is. See, or maybe at the evening hours, if I just drag this. So these data are going to give me a lot of ideas. Okay, so you see that there is the weather data here and the thermal comfort, incidence. Okay, so this, you can just go check with all these datas for every, month that we have here, like maybe just have the datas done for, and see, this is happening immediately. This is happening at us. The iterations are happening immediately. It's showing us the datas immediately. So this is how, Autodesk has integrated AI so that helps us in preparing a lot of these things. So, getting all the data is directly here without even going back, changing those things. I can find out the comfort zones. I can find out the weather data here. So all these data, it's completely there. Now I can as I told you earlier. So what I can do is I can just go say to June and maybe at around 10 or 11 a.m. I can just put some. I can find out the temperature here at different places. Now see, this it gives me different values at different locations. So now let's say I'll just close this. Okay, now what we are going to do is we are going to do some small changes in this by adding some trees and other elements to this. Okay, so I'm just going to put a tree line here. From this chopper, I'll choose the tree line. And let's say I'm just going to add a tree line along this. Okay, so, and along this area, I'm just going to plant some trees to this area here. And the height, okay, like some 5. Okay, or I can just double click here. Okay, and let's go back to the 3D view. Now here in this, I can select the height of these vegetations, maybe say 6 or 7 meter here. Okay. So I can just do some changes in this. Maybe I'll add some trees, additional trees over here, this area, along this edge. Okay. So now let's go back to the microclimate analysis here. And like my previous, let's go back to the 2D view. Set the true node now, and I'll hit the run analysis once again here in this. Okay, the result has come up. So it shows the analysis result here. So I'll just hit the result on this, and you can see, earlier this was somewhat hotter. Now that's becoming a little bit cooler here. The temperature is cooler here. That's the reason is because of adding the trees, and you can, if you go and check with this now it's dropped down. Earlier here it was, so you can see these spaces. So where there is a drop in the temperature now. So, like when you add more elements here, you can find out, or when you adding more vegetation and some shadings and other things can change the climate here in this. So this is just a small example what I did. Okay, maybe you can just try doing more things on this. Okay, and you can compare between these two results, and you can have a screenshot of it and compare those two results, and use them for your final presentations. Okay, so I hope this is clear. So now what we have done is we have completed this microclimate here. Okay, so JS Subhatran. Okay, so your question is like, do we have to record all analysis data and produce an orientation? See, yes, I think this is not going to take too much of your time. So you're just doing your massing model, like just quickly, as I suggested, just identify what the competition criteria is, what you have to do. Just do the basic shapes, the forms here. Okay, you can use multiple options in this by creating the line building or the basic building. or these options. You can also use the tree lines and all this stuff just to create the references. And maybe the same thing, if in case, if not here, what I can do is I can just move this entire site. Maybe in the afternoon session, I'll show you a detailed of how this is going to work. Now, this is my proposal one, right? So the proposal one, I'm doing it everything here in this. Maybe I'll do another one, which is the proposal two, and we'll see how that is going to work, and we'll choose which is the best option. And I'll just go through the process so you can get some fair idea of what we try to do. And yes, actually, that's something that we have to do before getting into Revit or modeling that this into Revit. So yes. Probably in the afternoon session, we'll be looking at the few more analysis that we have, and then how to work with the the different options, like creating a new proposal, working on a new proposal, and things like that. So that's Maheshwari. Yes, Forma is not limited to building design. It can be used for town planning also, because if you look at the top bar, you will find beautiful options like the site limit, the zone, the constraints. Your multiple buildings can be within that site. You can also have internal roads, or you can connect from the roads that is there. You can just try connecting. You can also create railroads. That means it's not just restricted to the building design part alone. So it's like you can also work with the the entire infrastructure or the area around it. You'll be able to explain. You'll be able to work on that. It's something similar. Okay, if you ask me, like, could you explain the workflow? Yeah, there are a lot of tutorials available for that also. So I can guide you to these tutorials. But in these 2 days, our concentration is going to be more on the aspects of this buildathon. So where I'm just trying to help you people understand like what you have to do on a stage by stage, identify the analysis data that we have, and how to go ahead with different proposals, choose the best proposal, and work on this. Be showing you how to take this models or take this data into Revit and do a modeling there. Yes, I'll be doing that. But in this for this today, we'll be working on creating more of proposals and utilizing the content what we have here, how to prepare this content for presentations, how to use this, and so that when there is a question put up to us, like asking like, why did you choose this orientation of the building, or why did you choose this shape for the building? So I should be, or why did you place it at this part of the site? When they ask questions like this, we have to have proper reports with us along with the answer that we give, so that it helps us in proving what we try to do here. So we should have the data with why I have done those designs in this. So that's the reason, that's the thing that we are trying to do on this today's session. So one more question here. So does Forma help to support the import of survey data and GIS data? Yes, actually, Arif, if you can see this, these are the survey datas and these are the GIS datas. Like, I'll show you once again here. So if you look at this, it's not a flat terrain. It is a 3D terrain here. I hope you get this. So you can see that it's a exact 3D data that we have. Okay. So, and actually there is a bridge over here. So this, these boxes, this is one of the biggest bridge, in Tamil Nadu or in South India here. So it's around 9 kilometers. This bridge goes for a stretch of 9 kilometers. These are the, the abutments of that. So there are roads on either side of it, and there is an elevated bridge. But again, the data here, it shows almost the accurate data here. So I know that I literally know these are the piers, that's below the bridge, and this is basically the survey data as well as the GIS data. Like if you're asking whether this is the accurate GIS or survey data, yes, these are the accurate data from which can be used. And by default, Forma supports that. So we'll be breaking for lunch now. And we'll resume back in another half an hour time. So let's take a break. Let's break for lunch, and then let's resume back by around 1:30. So thank you guys. Thank you. So I'll meet you up at 1:30 then.
Good afternoon, everyone. Hope we will be back. We are back from the lunch break. So I request your friends, colleagues to assume to join, and hope we'll start the session. Vimal sir, over to you, Vimal sir.
Thank you, Prasad. Thank you. So let's I'll just share the screen now. So good afternoon all. So once again, I welcome you all for this the second part of the day one session. Okay, so here, by morning we created a few things, like we saw how to create a project, how to add the location, how to get the terrain, how to add the the site proposal, the site limits. Then we also saw how to add the buildings and do some analysis on this. And okay, so here you can see there is one result which has come up now. So the wind analysis result, which we were expecting earlier, so which was the detailed analysis. So which we did, I think, a detailed analysis of the wind now. You can see the report here. So this usually takes some time, just to generate the detailed analysis, but once it's there, you'll be able to see the difference in this. So these are all the comfort zones, these areas here, okay? And you can see this part of the building, this side. So since that's mostly the southwest monsoon that affects this particular location, so we know that, you can see the data here in this. So when I click on this windrows here, you can see it shows the different data that you want here. So you have the statistics built up here, okay, based on the ground or the roof. And you also have the weather data here in this. So today morning we saw about the area metrics. So we also saw about the sonar analysis and the daylighting, the wind, and the microclimate, right? So now we have a few more analysis, which is here. So you can see that we have the noise analysis over here. And the noise analysis is basically taken from the traffic data here and based for this particular area. So you can see that it says the traffic data is missing. So I can add a road, I can add the road with traffic data in that. And, just then once again, I can run this analysis, the noise analysis, just to get the exact or some approximate values of how the noise will impact, which are the areas of my spaces, the noise, I'll be impacted with the noise. So here again, this is, as I told you, this is not the actual value here because it's missing the traffic data in this, but the traffic data can be incorporated by adding roads, and we can also add roads with all the traffic data inside them. So once we have done this, then we'll be able to add some or generate this noise analysis in this. Okay, so the road is very simple. Like what I can do is I can just go say I want to start from this here. Okay, And you can see the road, you can define the width of the road and how it is going to be, the turns are going to be, whether they're going to be a smooth turn or a tight turns in this. So I can just try adding this data on top of this. Okay, so now let's go back to the road once again. I'll just say I want to add the road from here. Can see that I can just add the road on top of this. I'm just approximately creating the road here so that so it's taking this as the road here, and you can see the noise, traffic noise data. I can just add some inputs. Okay, so what would be the speed? Probably like say 30 kilometer per hour. So then I can change the daily traffic distribution, like how it is going to be, and just change things here in this. Okay, so let's run this analysis again. Yeah, now you see how the noise is going to affect and how the noise still where this noise will be. So you can see that so we don't have much of noise affecting our space over here. So I think that should reduce all of this. And maybe if in case I want to add few more roads to this, I can say I want to add another road here to for this residential part. So I'm just going to have a road starting from this. Okay, maybe the width of the road is going to be, let's reduce from, okay, from 6 meter. I'll put this as 4 meter road. And I'm going to start here. And I want this to continue to this. And let's stop it here. Okay. Or I can also add another road here. I can say I want to just create one more road probably from this point. Okay, let's say I want to have a tight turn here so that it kind of turns with the sharp corners. And let's say I want to connect these. Okay, and this one, I'll join it with this. Finish this, I'll add a new road here. Okay, so let me just stop it here and try to connect. Okay, so now I have this part, the roads created on this part, and maybe one road I just want to add with 3 meter or 3.5 meter. Okay, now for each of this road, I'll be able to define the some values on this. So here, whenever we add the data, we know that this is see, I'm just adding the data here so that so I'll just add this, and what I can do is I can just say now let's go into this and try running the let's go this and let's try running the analysis, noise analysis now. So I'll just go with the noise analysis, and you can see that it shows how the noise is going to rotate and like how it is, what are the areas that is going to be affected. And these are the maximum areas, and you can see it kind of reduces here. And even after with all the roads on this, so this area is kind of manageable here. So it's not on the extremes. Okay, so you can also get the the data for this, and you can also do a complete analysis here. Okay, so this is how we do this. Now what I can do is once this is done, guys, any doubts with this? One second, sorry. So you can see this. You can have these datas. Okay. Now, if you have any questions, just let me know on this, uh, or should I move to the next topic of this? Guys, hope you're okay with this. Like, did you you can just try it out. I can give you another, some time, maybe like 5 to 10 minutes just to try this out. Creating the roads, adding the data for the roads, and running the noise analysis on that. So you can see how this road affects the noise. Sorry, how the road, the data is affecting your noise analysis. Okay, so if you are not having any queries, should we move to the next part of this where we can do the solar energy analysis here? So now let's go back here in this. Again, we know that this is the site that we are working. These are the new roads that we have added. Okay, now let's say I just want to do solar energy analysis just to find out how my photovoltaic plates or the solar panels are going to perform and get the reports from that. So let's go select this solar energy analysis, and the analysis area is already defined as the selection. As we know, that's the site that we have. Okay, and if you want, you can just click here and you can check that. Okay, if you're not having the site, you can select the site limit that you have sketched. And then what you can do is you can just click on this run analysis. So it automatically starts the analysis here. Okay, so you can see that it shows the analysis is in progress. And once the analysis is done, you can see the pop-up coming up below the top bar, and it shows the solar energy analysis is completed. And I can just click here to get the results. And so here you can see the data here, how it gives you the data like how these roofs can be used. And if in case you want the custom building services can also be checked here. So you can see how the building services can be utilized for the photovoltaic plates. Now you can also just go with the roofs here, and you also see the total energy that would be generated here in this, and what is the average value. So that is with a surface coverage of 60% and the panel efficiency at 15%. Now, with these values only of the roofs, you can see that I can get the impact of this at different areas. So I can just check this. Okay, so you see we have all these. Now, what I can also do is I can also go into this surface coverage here. Okay, maybe if in case I want to use 80% of my roof for the solar panels, and the efficiency of my panels is going to be around 20% here. So what would be the annual electrical output? So it gives you that value here, and you can see that data here. So it quickly gives me these datas, but again, when you change this, it changes accordingly. Like you can see this with 60% and with 15% of the panel efficiency. So this is how you can do this. Maybe you can, if you have done this, maybe next thing is you can just go with the custom buildings surfaces, where you can find out like you can just choose, and the angles also can be defined in this, and you can just check. So the average value you can just check somewhere over here. Okay, so you'll be able to see that it gives you these data. Now you can actually take a screenshot of this, add it to your presentations and this. Okay, so now if you change the efficiency and the surface coverage and the efficiency, so that the value, output value here gets updated accordingly. So this is something that we can use to identify how the photovoltaic plates or the solar panels can be placed for in our site or in this building. Okay. So next, moving ahead, we have this embodied carbon analysis for this, so which you can edit. So you can see when I go into this, it it selects depending on what type of model I'm doing. So it's basically the envelope and structures are there, and maybe I just add some features to it. And you can just run the analysis on this. But this being on the conceptual level, it gives you very basic data of certain things here. Okay, so now you can see the data is color coded. You can see the envelope, how much it is going to use. So what is the structural, what is the interiors? So you can get the data from this. And now if you have a detailed model, so that should give you a totally a different kind of results for this. Okay. And these are some of the analysis that you can use while working with the former site design. Okay, so and we have seen all this as in our proposal one. Now, what you can also do is I can also define, some parking layouts here, surface parking areas here. I can also define this site constraints, the site limits, the zones for my site. Within my site, I can define the zones. Um, and so here you can see you can do a new 3D sketch where you can directly sketch a three-dimensional building here, and you'll be able to edit the existing 3D models in this. So for example, okay, let's say, let's measure this distance. Here we have the measure distance, and we also have the labels which you can mark on specific areas. So I can just put some label here saying this is going to be called as my setback. Okay. So I know that this area is a kind of a setback, or maybe I'm just going to place some plant room or something here across this area. Okay, so maybe at this part over here, so that it can work for both the structures which is nearby. So then I can define some area for it, or I can just pick the area here into this. Okay, and next is you also have a few things here. That's like you can add additional extensions to your form. So now when you go into this additional extension and say add extensions, so it should take you to the App Store, the Autodesk App Store, where so where you can see that we have a lot of apps that you can add on top of to your forma, and you'll be able to use them. So there are a lot of apps which is available in this, which you can use. And one interesting thing is there is the forma add-in for Revit. So now you can download this and you'll be able to install it. So once you click on download, it takes you to your your Autodesk account, and from there you'll be able to download this so that it can be installed or added on top of your Revit. Okay, so yeah, that's about this extensions over here. And you can also import 3D models. So there is an option of import 3D models. So you can import the 3D models, but these 3D models should be like an OBJ or IFC, or if it is a 2D vector, it's DXF or the raster images as JPEG and PNG, so that you can work on top of these elements here. So now let's go back here. So any doubts? Any doubts in this? Do you have any doubts in this? Can you just try these things? I can give you another 10 to 15 minutes just to try this out. Now the time is around 2:15, so I'll wait till 2:30 so that you can just try this, and whatever questions you have on this, I'll take the questions in this 15 minutes. So the rest of the people, those who want to try this out, you can try this out. Those who want to put up a question and go for the queries, yes, I'm open for it. So let's do that. So guys, do you have any questions? Still anybody having any issues with the licensing or accessing the Buildathon web page, or registering yourself and students, you can actually, if you're not able to unmute, you can just put your questions. You can put your questions in the chat box so that I can just look at it and uh, reply back to you. Or if you have done till this, just put a thumbs up or just put in some message saying that you completed. Because after this, what we are going to do is we are going to create another new proposal, and we are going to see how that is going to be impacted by all these analysis and how to compare the data. So Akash, I didn't get your question. Like, what are you talking about this session? Are we talking about this session, the recorded video of this session? So any questions, guys? You can also put it in the chat box. Okay, I think so. How many of you have completed here in this? Can you just give a thumbs up? Or if you have completed, can you just put a thumbs up? Okay. Anyone else? Because I see a couple of people giving their thumbs up, and yes, I think if you have any questions, you can try unmuting yourself, and I'll ask my team to assist you on that. So Vijay Raghavan, just if you have a question, do you have a question, Vijay Raghavan? If it is, then let me my team here will give you access to unmute yourself. So Vijay Raghavan, I think you can unmute yourself, and if you have a question or if you have completed, just give a thumbs up. Yes, Kishore, you have any questions? Do you have any questions? Okay, Kishore asked one question: can we export this design to Revit? Yes, we'll be importing this into Revit, and we'll be working on this. Not just this design, we'll do one more additional model, like where we can see how it is going to work. We'll try to choose the best of these two proposals and try to use it for the Revit. Okay. Okay, so what is the real-time application of embodied carbon analysis? Okay, so there's one question which says, what is the real-time application of this? So embodied carbon analysis is the measurement of carbon emission law based on the building materials and construction process. And everything before, and you're going to do this before the building starts operating and the raw material extractions, manufacturing, and so this is used the for is gaining the how just how how you can use this, how the materials can be used, how this is going to affect during the different stages. Okay. Um, so just need to understand the data and the analysis report, and we have to see how we can work on top of that. So so to be more specific, like the embodied carbon analysis is value that you can use, get the value, has identify what are the different materials that can be used. So to reduce the carbon impact on this from this building. Okay, so okay, so there is one more question. If we can export this to Revit, then only this building design is going to be visible in Revit, or it going to be visible? Okay, so like it doesn't generate the building, basically the building components. I know it's not going to add the walls, doors, windows, and all automatically, or the interiors and things like that. But those areas we have to do. We need to create them as convert them to walls, the facades, the elevation details and other stuff. But this can give you the data from here. So and with this as reference, you can start creating the building model. Okay, I think Kishore has one more question. Can think you can just, if in case you have a question, you can just unmute. Or if you have a question, you can just try unmuting yourself. Shantakumar, you also have, if in case you have a question, you can unmute and you can ask your questions. Okay, so if there aren't questions, any questions in this, so let's go back to our session. So where we can start updating this model, and then let's try creating a new proposal and start working on it. Okay, so now we have created a proposal one, and we know that this proposal one has these things in that, and we have added the datas. We have got the datas for the proposal one. Okay, now let's click on this proposal one over here. Okay, you can see the three dots next to this where you see the proposal history. You can rename this, you can duplicate this, or you can send it to Revit. Okay, or you can export this as an OBJ here. Now let's say I'm just going to duplicate this. Okay, or when you click on duplicate, you can see it creates a copy of this where let's say I want to retain the site here, but let's say I want to delete this block, this, and maybe this three lines here. I don't want it. This road also let me delete. So I know that I have a few roads added here for this. So now I have all the data. Okay, now let's create something else here. Let's start creating a new model in this. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create. Let's go with the 2D part for now, and I'll say I want to create a basic building, which is exactly on this side. Just going to maybe say of 20 meter. And let's say this is 30 meter here. Okay. And once again, this is going to be here, 20 meter. Now, this is one part that I have created. Maybe if in case I want, I can select the model and move this slightly to this side. And I'm also going to rotate this based on this reference here. I'm going to slightly rotate this for an angle like this. Now let's see how this performs. Okay. And maybe I'm just going to add one more building here. For like 30 meter. And this, I want it to be like 15 meters. Okay, now I'll just go back to my 3D view where I'm going to see this is in an angle here. And in this, I'm going to put this, double click this, select this area here and say this is going to be my commercial space. Okay, again, 1, 2, and 3, I'll select and say these are going to be my residential. So okay, so I have one commercial layer here, and then the rest is the 3 residentials. So I'm just going to, similarly, I'm going to select this, put it as my commercial space, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, it's not getting selected. Okay, so these 3, let's say, is my office. So now I just did some small iterations here. Okay, now here I'll select this, maybe make it as 6 floors. And this floor also, let's say I want this floor to be my commercial. So 2 floors commercial and the rest is like residential over here. So something like this. Okay. And now I just want to change and select this. I'll change the orientations of this. Or I'll change the spaces here. Okay. Yeah. Stop it here. Okay, so let's leave this. Oh yeah, that's okay. So let me move this slightly inside. Okay, so let's say this is how I'm going to have this model. Okay, and I'll just place them. Maybe I can rotate it. Sorry, I can rotate this. Place this almost here side. Okay, so I can move this one. Sorry. Okay. Now let's see how this particular scenario is going to work, or maybe just change the questions of this, all these three together. Let's move it slightly towards the back. Okay, and this, once again, I'll just move it slightly here. This, I can just extend my side limit here. Okay, so now we have something like this. Now let's go ahead, and this is my proposal 1 copy. Now let's rename this as our proposal 2. Okay. Now you can check the area matrix over here. So what is the building coverage, like what is the GFA, GIA, and this NIA here. So likewise, you can do it for all the buildings. You can just get the matrix here. And what we can also do is we can get the analysis for this. So now let's go ahead with each of these analysis. Maybe I'll just hit the analysis here. The sun hour analysis here in this. And you can see that we have the run analysis here. So I can choose the dates for which I want to do. If in case I want to run for the same dates that we have already created or already run in the proposal 1, I can do the same dates. I can just choose the same dates, add the same dates, and I can run them here. Okay, so maybe add September 22 here, and I'll just hit the run analysis. Now, once you run the analysis, what happens is so oops, yeah. So it shows the analysis is in progress, and once it's done, you can just select and click on the view result. So you get to see the how the sun hours has been affected, or how these buildings have been affected by the sun hours. Okay. Now this part is going to be more of the more of with shadows and other things. Okay. Now maybe if I want to change that, yes, you can change that here. See how that updates here in this. So you can see that it shows the difference in this. And you can get the data from this. You can inspect the data, get the values for that. Okay. Now, what I can also do is I can also just go ahead, go into the wind daylighting analysis over here. So do analysis for this. And you can get the results for that. Okay. Now, because of this building which is here, this part gets impacted, and again here you can see the impact of this building on this. So this kind of shows the proper results over here. So based on this conditions, now in case you change the or in case you run the wind analysis now, you can see the detailed analysis on this now, or you can just go get the analysis and you can see. So these are all the most comfortable areas for sitting, standing, and strolling. And also this can be more areas where you can walk. You can just sit and relax on these areas. So here you can stand or walk along this. So you can see that here. Okay. Now let's go ahead, hit the microclimate analysis on this. Okay, and let me run the analysis on this area. So it's still in progress. So just give it a minute. Should get you the data for this. Okay, so now you can see the a report for this. And how this has been impacted. Now you can also add your tree lines along this, this time what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add something called as area with trees, and I'm just going to mark this area completely with trees. Okay, and I would say the stations are like and so now we have added some trees along this area. Okay. Okay, so I just changed the spacing so that. Okay, so now if I run the microclimate again, so here you can see that it has given the result for this. So you can see the impact is getting reduced on these areas. Now let's add a few more, maybe I add additional areas here. So let's say I'm just going to take it till this part. And I'm just going to add some parking area on this. So this is going to be my parking spaces. Okay, just a small parking area here. That's now if I try to run the analysis now, so it's going to give a different type of results here. So now if I look into this result here, so that's going to have a different impact. Okay, based on the time, you can see that it changes according to that. So you can gather all these data. You can just try to, identify which would be the best suited options. Once you have decided the shapes, the team who's working on Revit can start working on Revit once the shape is done. So the other people can start updating the terrain over here. So adding the trees, adding the roads, the parking spaces. Okay. So and all these things. So to planting these trees, it's here in the top bar, you'll have that called as a tree line or an area with trees. So the tree line basically creates one single stretch of trees across this. Okay, so that's like maybe what I can do is I can just delete this and this parking, let me delete. So I'll just say tree line or area with trees. Area with trees is what you see here. Maybe you can just double click on this and you can edit this, or you can just create a new one here. Okay, so you can just add some parking areas here in this. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to say I want to have an area with tree. So inside this parking spaces here, I'm just going to add some area here where we are going to have some trees on this. Okay. And this, I'll say the 2 meter and 6 meters. And let's say I want to have another area with trees along this building or along this edge. And okay, now you see this entire area is now changed. We have some additional elements in this. So now if I just run the microclimate here, so that's going to give me a different result altogether. Or if I go in with my wind or daylighting or the sonar analysis, so everything is going to be have a different values based on the components that we have. Okay. I can see the results over here. So this is how it changes based on the different time according to the month of June. Maybe if I put it in the month of maybe say somewhere in the September or September, I would do. I'll just put it at morning 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. So you can see how this is. Okay, how the impact of these elements are changing the space over here. So you can see this area. Okay, so this, so this is the other proposal that we have created. So now we know that we can do the, the noise analysis, we can do the solar energy analysis, embodied carbon and all on top of this. Now, this is what, we can create like multiple proposals like this. Either I can duplicate this, or I can say I want to add a new proposal here. And when you say a new proposal, everything from the existing proposal is completely removed, and you can add a new proposal here, and you'll be able to work on this. And when you're adding new proposal, what I can also do is I can just say I can just create my elements from the beginning here. So where I can just create the site limit, the zones, I can also define the roads if I want inside that. I can also add trees, the buildings, the parking spaces, everything together in this. And I'll be able to do the analysis on this. So I hope you understood the concept of these proposals, proposal 1 and proposal 2, and this. Now we'll take a short break of 10 minutes. Okay, we'll have a small bio break of 10 minutes, and then we'll resume back by around 3 o'clock. Okay, so I have a question here. So that it's question is, can we work in feet and inches? Yes, and you can see this. So in the settings here, you have the units where you can change this to. Okay, so let me just do it again. So here in the default area matrix here, so you have the area matrix. Just click on that, and you have the settings. Now here you can change the the length, the measurement units to metric or imperial. Sorry, sorry. I'm just sorry. I'm just. So let me just share the screen 1 second. So hope you're able to see my screen. And okay, so when you want to work with the imperial units, so what you can do is you can just go click on this area matrix here. So that's the area matrix. And for this area matrix, you have the settings, which you can just go into the settings, and you can see you can define the settings for the building functions. You can create your own functions. The matrix, you can define what are all the different types of area matrices that you want here in this. The unit sizes and the color codings that you want to use in this. So the surface functions you can define and their surface matrix. For the sun, so what it is, and the measurement, here you can see the metric and the imperial here. So you can just change this to imperial so that you can use or get the values automatically in the square feet here. Okay, so this you can use it between the metric and the imperial here. Or here from your settings, you can just go change all these things. So anywhere, like either from here or here, you can just go into the settings and you will be able to do the change between these two. So so that is the other question. Okay. Okay, any other questions here? I think you understood what forma is. Forma for site design is like how you can use it. I know. So we saw how to add the project, how to create the site, how to locate the site. And we also saw how to add the proposals and how to get the data for the proposal. So the initial data, like getting the terrain, the trees, the buildings, and all these things. So then we also saw how to, you know, have the proposal created for each of this. And we created two different proposals and we did the analysis here. So, and we found out which would be the best option. So you can see you have the proposal 1 and proposal 2 here. Now, as I was telling you earlier, now what I can do is I can also go into this, click on this former site design here, where you have the compare option in this. So when you go into this compare here, so you'll be this comparison mode where you can compare between the proposals that you have created and the the different analysis that you have done with these proposals. So right now you can see it shows the area matrix here for this proposal 2. Now what I can do is I can just go to the area matrix here for the proposal 1. Okay, so this I can just drag and drop it here. And it automatically shows the area matrix. So you can see that it shows the comparison between these two. And so you can just kind of have these details. So okay. So you can compare between the area matrices here. So now this you can have, put it as a beautiful, screen. You can have a screenshot of this, or you can put it as a board here and you can work on this. Now, not just this, what you can also do is you can just close these two. Say now, let's say I want to do the SANAR analysis between these two proposals. So I can just drag this and leave it here. Okay, so that's from proposal 2. And the SANAR was the latest version. I can just add it here to this. And so in both, you'll be able to see the difference here. So you can see the data being dated in this. And if in case you want to do the inspect over here, so you just go into the inspect and add it so you can see it updates in both these areas. So it's kind of a quick comparison that you'll be getting. Okay. And you can actually use this and you can get the, yes, I think, that is, okay. So you want me to repeat this again? So once I can think, let me do this. Okay. So by default, I'm in this proposal here, and we know that we have two proposals done. So that's proposal 1 and 2. Okay. So here, what I can do is I can just go into the former site design here, and from here I can just go into this compare design. Okay. So once I click on this compare design, so it opens up to, the proposal 2 with the latest, area metrics was the last one which we worked on it. So it shows that. So now what I can do is I can just go to my proposal 1 area metrics, double click on that. It automatically updates all the data. Or, I can just say, and this is the latest version. I'm just going to drag and drop here for the proposal 2. And here also for proposal 1, I want to use the latest version. So it gives me the area metrics for these two. Okay, so you can compare between the area metrics. Now the same way you can, and it also shows you the detail here. So now if you can just try expanding this. So that gives the detailed report here. Okay. And not just the area metrics. So what I can do is I can do the wind, the latest version of wind analysis and proposal 2, and the latest version of wind analysis and proportion and the proposal 1. So here you can see that how that's kind of going to affect these two areas. Okay. Or if you click on the comfort here and this comfort, so you can see the difference in this. So, okay. So these areas, especially like instead of having something like this, having a design like this kind of gives a different result here in this area. And since we have a lot of trees and other things, you can see these areas. Right. So and yes, Rishikesh, Rishikesh, do you have any? If you have any questions, kindly unmute and you can ask the question. So I think my team has given the option for you to unmute. You can unmute and you can ask the question. So so Giridharan K now. Okay, so okay, so yeah, I think your doubt is cleared. So thank you, thank you. So like any other questions, guys? Sorry, do you have any other questions? If you have your questions, you can just put your questions because I see a few hands raised up. So if you have some questions, you can put them on the chat or you can just unmute and you can ask. Okay. So if you don't have any questions, let's just lower the hand now. Okay, so so this is how you can use the compare here, where you can compare between the different analysis reports for the two different scenarios that you create, or two different proposals that you have created. Okay. Now, so this is a collaborative whiteboard where what you can do is I can just create a new board with this. Okay. Um, so here I'll be able to get the site design. So from the site design, the proposal tools, you see the snapshots of different things is available here. I can prepare this as a kind of a presentation board for me. So where I have this area metrics, the wind, the microclimate and all. So once these are updated, so I'll be able to directly add them here. So listen to okay, I think design view. This is the one. Okay, so let's save this and close this. This. Or I think let's just delete this. Let's see the area metrics are here. So this, okay. Proposal one, the area metrics, I'll take add it over here. So you can just have this proposal one and two side by side. So you can have the area metrics details with this. Or you can also have the you can use all these the solar energy, the daylighting, and all the analysis that you have done. You can just use that here. So for example, let's say I'm just going to use this sun hours. This is in September 22, that's proposal one. Now I can add the proposal two. So you can arrange this, you can prepare this as a board, and you can share this also. So you can share the board here. You can give a name for this board, maybe say comparison chart or something. So you can just, and then you can share it now. So this is what you can do with this former site design, the board and the compare. So I think you people have got most of the ideas of what you can do with this. So one more important thing is so I just want to once again uh, you know review like what we have done for the for this entire day. So first we started with what is Buildathon, and I just explained a few things on that. Then we moved into formal site design, creating the project, creating the defining the location, then defining the proposals, and then we what we did was we added the building design to it. We added the area metrics. We did the analysis of area metrics, then with the analysis of sun hours, the wind, the daylighting potential, the microclimate, the noise analysis, along with the so no, the solar energy analysis with embodied carbon. So I also was we also had a overview of how what is there in this former screen. So what are all the different areas that we use when we are working. So we saw how to work with the add new proposals or change from move between the proposal to the comparison. And we also saw how to take it into the board, arrange them in the boards and that. So this is something that we have done for the initial design stage. So now I'll just quickly take you back to this presentation again. So once so let me share the screen. So this is what we did. So we did the analyze of sun hours and daylight. Okay. So based on the Indian conditions, so we have taken some references, the location on the India, and we have done this. So we also did the wind, the microclimate noise and solar analysis. Okay, so basically the seasonal wind rows where we have the southwest monsoon or the northeast winter winds, like both the things we were able to find that. So we saw how the dead areas in the funnels between two towers and all. So we also did the microclimate here. So we did noise analysis with the roads mapped, and we also did the solar energy analysis. Okay, for this, and what we did was we did the comparison here, and where we created two different proposals. We created the proposals, two different proposals, and what I want you to do is I want you to prepare a site, prepare a context. Okay. So I have two or three buildings, but here I just put it as five, but on that, just put one or two buildings. Okay. Just work on a few buildings on this. Maybe any one building, I want you to fully concentrate, work on it, work on the shapes, the profiles, have a proposal ready. And what we are going to do is we are going to pick two volunteers who are going to present their modules. Okay, or you're going to present the modules tomorrow. So, and I would like somebody to volunteer on this to showcase your proposal tomorrow. So, can someone from this? Can someone do that? Guys, can someone just let me know if you're interested in showcasing this, your model tomorrow or what you have learned tomorrow. I just want you to. Yes, yes, I have one person here. So what's the name? Somebody raised their hand. Was that? Did someone raise their hand? I think my team here, my backend team should be a little bit careful, like see who is actually, or you can, guys, you can put it in the chat box if you're interested. Yes, yeah, yes, Kishore, in the competition, you have to do these analysis and do a comparison and find out which is the best and use that for designing. Okay, now, if somebody is interested in just showcasing their what we have learned today in tomorrow's session, can you just please raise your hands so that we know so tomorrow morning, we'll just quickly have give you some 2 minutes. I want two different teams or two different volunteers. Okay, just to just to see what you have learned, just showcase them in tomorrow morning session. So can someone help me on that? Guys, it's okay. Like, see, it's not that we are going to do a detailed, you know, report and find fault on that, things like that. So it's going to be just know what you have understood and what you have done, just to check, see if you are in the right track or not. So that's okay. So okay, let's do one thing here. So let's say, can I pick somebody from this list? Okay, so that is one person. Okay, Jaya Sabatran. Yeah, that's great. Jaya Sabatran. Yes, that's good. That's great. I like this. So anyone else? Any one more team? Can you just do a kind of yeah, Jay Subhatran, I've noted your name, so probably tomorrow I can have you do a small presentation. So, just to see what you have done, just on the recap of day one or something like that. Okay, so anyone else? Any interested team? Anyone wants to just see how? Yes, there is one more team, Atikar Raghuman. Yes, okay. So, guys, so I want my backend team to have a note of these two people. So one is Jay Sivatran and Atika Rahman. Just please take note of their names. So we'll give them time in tomorrow morning session where they'll do a small presentation on their formal, the exercise that they have done for today. Okay, so now let's quickly move ahead into the next option here, or the next concept here. So let's just quickly. So, right. So now I have this, we have this. Now, I also told you there are extensions for Forma which can be used. And there are a lot of extensions, as you can see when you go and click on this add extensions over here. You'll see a lot of extensions which is available in the Autodesk App Store. So, and one such extension is sorry about this, guys. So yes, and one such extension is this Autodesk Forma add-in for Revit. So you can download this, and so once you have downloaded this, you'll be able to. I think it's already done. I did this earlier. Yeah. Okay. So now what I can do is I can just open and this. Okay, I can just run this and I'll be able to install this, directly. So I'll be able to connect between Forma and Revit. And what I want you people to do is I want you to, download this, okay, and install this so that for tomorrow's session, what we are going to do is we are going to send the design that we have created here to the Revit, and we are going to work on the Revit model there. So, okay, so it's just a small plugin, you just run that, it's done. So you see, that's the time it takes to complete this. And once you have that, you can share the model between Revit and Forma. So now you also have additional um, plugins here. So you can see that there is a Dynamo player, which is also included in this. You also have the other stuff, things like the shadow studies. Some are like the parking demand calculators are there. So these are things that you can just look into it. But the important one is the Forma for Autodesk add-in for Revit. So where you can just, this will be added to your Revit, and in your Revit you'll be able to bring in this proposals. For example, now I have since I have installed it, I can just directly open my Revit and I'll be able to pull out any of these two proposals. So that we'll do it in tomorrow's session. So but if you have any other questions, I'm open for the questions. On this day one, if you have any questions, I'm open for your questions. Okay, so is there any reference projects that you can share? Okay, guys, and yes, sorry, and one important thing that I can share with you is you can actually do maybe I can give some reference, but just think of a scenario where you want to give some three, some 4 or 5 floors, maybe like a mixed use building, some maybe like Corsair, some 10 floors mixed use building, where the basic 3 floors is going to be commercial and maybe office spaces or something like that. So it's, then that way it looks more better. Just think of any ideas that you want and you can do it. So somebody wants me, okay, Kanabran wants to repeat the comparison of proposals. Okay, 1 second, let me do that again. So I'll do the comparison here. See, to create the comparison, what you do is just go into the, click on this Forma site design here, and you'll see the compare here in this. So when the compare, what I can do is you can choose from proposal 2 and proposal 1, and you can see that by default in proposal 2 it has taken the latest version of the area matrix. Okay, now in proposal 1 also you can choose the latest version of area matrix and drag and drop it here. So it shows the comparison between these two. Okay, so and you can see the views as well as the matrices here. Now you can just create it as a screenshot here, and or you can just close this to compare with the other two matrices. For example, maybe let's say I want to check with uh, the daylighting potential here. So the latest version of daylighting potential, I'll add this proposal to here. And in proposal one, the latest version of my daylighting, and I'll just add it here. So now we know that you can see both the things here. So see how the results are. Now, if in case you want, you can click on the inspect here and you can just hit this inspect. You see these areas. Whereas you see that how it changes. And you'll be able to see the results for the same locations here. Okay, so I hope your doubt is cleared, Kanabran. So I hope your doubt is cleared. Yeah, thank you, thank you. It's good. So any other questions? Any other topics that you want me to just review it before we wind off for the day? Okay, guys. So let's wind up for the day. So there are some issues in that. Okay. Raj Gautam. So there are some issues in adding satellite image. It's showing map data not available. Uh, Raj, I think if if you're in the group, the WhatsApp group which is there, maybe can you just ping in that so that my team can connect with you and try to help you out on that. So because not sure like why that is coming up. Maybe I can you can get the support of my team. They can try to check what error that is. Okay, and are there any other queries, any other questions? Okay, so let's wind up for the day. So thank you all, thank you for attending this day one format days session. So today it was more on the format topics where we were discussing on how to work with the different analysis within the format, how to create proposals and all this stuff. So and how to work, how to add that in the how to do a comparison here, how to do the boards, and I suppose the two volunteers, my two volunteers will be ready by tomorrow. Just to do a small presentation on what you have learned in today. And guys, before tomorrow, I would suggest you to be installed with the Revit to Forma, or the Revit plugin for Forma plugin for Revit, so that you can share the models from Forma to Revit and you can start building on top of it. So Okay, so thank you all. Thank you. So officially we'll wind off the session for the day.